This is a coordinate plane or a coordinate grid. Now, you'll notice that I've already highlighted two intersecting lines. These are the axes of the graph. We have the x-axis that is horizontal and runs from left to right, and we have the y-axis that is orange and it runs up and down or vertically. On a coordinate grid, we can identify the different quadrants. There are 4 different quadrants. This is quadrant 1. This will be quadrant 2. This will be quadrant 3. And this is quadrant 4. Notice that it moves in a counterclockwise manner. Okay? Now, let's look at how we use a coordinate plane. We can identify points that are on this graph, and we can plot points on the graph. We're going to identify first. So what we do when we identify is we look at creating, and each point has what is called a coordinate pair. It's their home, so to speak. So I'm just going to label my axis again just to refresh your memory. And our coordinate pair always takes on an x, y order. So you'll always have the x number first and the y number second. So in order to identify this point, I notice that I go from the origin, which is 0, 0, all the way over to 4. So my first number in my ordered pair is 4. And I go up to positive 1, so that's my y coordinate is 1, and that's my ordered y order. So you'll always have the x number first and the y number second. So in order to identify this point, I notice that I go from the origin, which is 0, 0, all the way over to 4. So my first number in my ordered pair is 4. And I go up to positive 1, so that's my y coordinate is 1, and that's my ordered pair for this point. Now on this y-axis, I notice that my next point is right on the y-axis, so I don't have to move left or right at all. So my x coordinate is going to be 0, and my y coordinate, because I'm going to move up to 4 to find my point, is going to be a positive 4. Now, for this point here, I'm going to move over to 2 on the x-axis, and then I actually move down. So this is going to be a negative 3 on my y-axis, so my ordered pair is going to be 2, negative 3. Now, for my last point that I'm going to identify, I see from where it is located, it's to the left of 0, which means it's got an x value of negative 3. And I also notice it's below 0, so I have a negative y value as well, and it goes down to negative 4. So my ordered pair is negative 3, negative 4. Now, okay, so now we're going to plot a few points, and I have written a few points over here, but let's just review. I have my horizontal axis, which is my x-axis, and it's my first part of my ordered pair. And then I have my y-axis, which is my vertical axis, and that is my second part of my ordered pair. So what we're going to do is we're going to move left or right first, and then we will move up or down along the y-axis. So the first ordered pair is negative 1, so I'm going to move left 1 space, and then positive 2, so I'll move up 2. So I'll put a point there where those two intersect. Then my second point is positive 4, so that means I move to the right 4, and negative 2 for the y, so I have to move down 2. My third point is negative 3, so I go to the left 3, and 0. 0 means I'm not going to move up or down, so my point's actually going to be on the x-axis. Now this last point is the same kind of thing, except for this time the x-axis, or the x value is 0, so I don't move left or right at all. I stay right here. And then my y is -3, so I move down 3 spaces, and that's where my last point is going to be.